Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeremy. Welcome to Polyphonic Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new album by Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. The album is called The Lion, the Beat, and the Beast. Now, Grace Potter and the Nocturnals are a band from Vermont. They've been around for a couple of years, since about 2002, and this is their fourth album overall, and seems to be catching on to be one of their biggest albums. The album begins right away with the title track, The Lion, the Beat, the Beast, and it's got a very sort of victorious kind of feel to it, with the drums playing this sort of tom groove. It almost sounds like one of those movies where, you know, they have the slaves going and they have the drummers sort of motivating the workers or something like that. I'm not saying this is a slave driving song, but it definitely has that kind of feel if you sort of get that visual in your mind. Eventually the song kind of changes gears and it goes into this sort of bluesy, almost country vibe, but it also has these sort of distorted electric guitars that give it a more of a rock feel as well. It's very anthemic, especially with the build-up of the intro, but it's also got a very epic feel overall as well. You know, especially with the girl singing, I would very much compare this song with the band Heart. You know, it's got a lot of balls to it, but it's also very feminine at the same time. I thought this was a really good opening track because it gives you a real glimpse into what you're going to expect with the rest of the album. And this song in particular doesn't really have any ambiguity either. It's sort of not pretending to be anything that it isn't. I really like the song Parachute Hard. It's got a very loose, very acoustic, jangly kind of feel to it. It almost sounds like late 70s Fleetwood Mac with Stevie Nicks taking the lead vocals. The interesting thing about this song as well is in the chorus it really breaks down and it goes into a really slow tempo to the rest of the song, which is really unique, and it just sort of breaks down right at the chorus where you're really not expecting it, but still it somehow works and they still manage to pull it off. It's just that one little thing that makes this song unique and really stands out above anything else, really. The song Loneliest Soul comes in about halfway through the record. And it really captured my attention because it's got a very different feel to the rest of the songs on this album. It's got a bit more of a psychedelic thing going on, especially with the use of the sitar and this sort of weird feel with the piano going on in the intro. It's got a very immediate tempo, and it's sort of almost like it's trying to get somewhere and it's going somewhere in a hurry. This song sounds very familiar, but it doesn't really sound like anything else at the same time. It's sort of like when you're walking down the street and you see a stranger and you could almost swear that you've seen that person before. You don't know really where or when, but you know you've seen them before. It kind of has that kind of thing going on with it, if you know what I mean. Runaway is another standout to me. It has a very laid-back kind of groove with it. You know, it's one of those songs you can easily dance to, but it's not like a heavy dance song or anything like that either. It's really just a laid-back kind of groove. It's you know, more of something you can put on in the background and kind of enjoy. I really like the organ work on this song, and that's one thing that I really like about this band too, is they sort of use like vintage keyboard instruments as well. You know, things like B3 organs and Fender Rhodes pianos and things like that. Really gives it sort of a vintage feel and a vintage vibe, but again, it still sounds fresh. The album closes with a song called The Divide, and I really like this one as well. I think it's a really strong closer, and it has this sort of military kind of vibe with the drums, and it kind of goes into this sort of almost gospel-ish sort of feel, but it also has these electric guitars that have a lot of like a bluesy rock kind of vibe as well. It really blends the genres in and sort of mixes it all in together, so you don't really know what's going on until you're listening for it. And that's another thing about this band too, is they really blend the genres really seamlessly. The production on this album is pretty well done, but to be honest, there's a little bit too much reverb for my liking. It kind of sounds like it was recorded in the 80s. I think if they were to sort of lose the reverb a little bit and make the instruments a little more present, I think the album could go from being really good to being really great. But I think that's holding them back a little bit. Other than that, it's a really great album. I really dug it, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So that's what I thought about this album. Let me know what you guys think in the comments or with the video response. And I guess that's about it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.